Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and boys, do I have a spicy one for you today. This deck is super fun. It's another Light Sworn variant, but we're actually using Sacred Soldier alongside World Legacy monsters. World Legacy, it's an interesting archetype. I don't think we're anywhere near having the complete set of cards. But what we have right now, it's actually very useful. Especially when you bring in Blackluster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. So if you guys are not familiar with this guy, when you normal summon this, you can return a banished light or dark monster to your graveyard, and then you get to banish a card on the field, which is an amazing effect to have. Also, if it destroys a monster by battle, you get to add a warrior monster from your graveyard back to the hand. But yeah, the way we're going to be using Sacred Soldier is with this card right here, World Legacy Landmark. When I first read this card, I was like, wow, this card is pretty insane. Banish one World Legacy monster from your hand or face up from your field. Then target two monsters in your graveyard, special summon them. They cannot attack this turn. That is such a good card, and the downside is not even bad. I mean, you can attack this turn, that's fine. If you do it during your opponent's turn, you don't have to worry about it. If you the monsters you're summoning don't get their effects negated or anything like that, so it's really a win-win situation. Amazing card. I was running it at 3 at some point, but I just went ahead and put it to 2 because there are ways for us to search it and get it to our hand. But yeah, that's the combo. So World Legacy Landmark is going to banish one of your World Legacy monsters, which they're all dark. When you do that, you're going to summon a Sacred Soldier that is hopefully going to be in the graveyard, thanks to your Light Sworn engine. When he summoned, and this is an effect that will miss timing, so you have to make sure you resolve this as a chain link 1. So when he summoned, the monster you use banish comes back to the graveyard, and then you get to banish a card. So it's amazing. When you do it at the end of your opponent's turn or during their battle phase, it's very devastating because you can take care of their back row and then just pretty much go for game the following turn. Another way to summon Sacred Soldier is by using Super Team Body Force Unite. Raiden is a warrior, so you can just target a Raiden and then bring back the Sacred Soldier. Super Team Body Force is also gonna work with your machines. If you already have one of these on the field, you can special summon something like World Armor. Armor will search a World Legacy card from your deck, which is really good. I do have 3 of them, but I thought of just running 2 just because the deck is already kind of tight with the 30 cards. I'm running 3 World 1 because if it's sent to the graveyard in any matter, you get to special summon a World Legacy monster from your hand. If you go for Armor, once again, you're going to be able to search immediately for hopefully your World Legacy Landmark, but you can also search a monster if needed. Another way to get our World Legacy Landmark to our hand is by banishing a World Legacy World Chalice. This card has to stay in the graveyard for a turn though, so it's a little bit slower. That's why I went with 3 1s and 2 Chalice as opposed to the other way around. We're also running double Orchestrated Return because you can use it with your World Legacy monsters to draw 2. Really good card. Mostly used in Orcus, but it works with World Legacy monsters as well. Other than that, we have your basic Light Sworn engine, triple charge, triple Raiden, triple double Lumina. I'm only running 2 Lumina. Am I crazy? This should be 3 Lumina. I would probably replace either Felis or Wolf. I like Raiko. He's a pretty clutch card to search. Normally you want to search Lumina, but if you don't have anything in the graveyard to activate Lumina's effect, you can just search a Raiko and mill some more, destroy something when your opponent flips it. But yeah, I can't believe I'm running 2 Lumina. We gotta fix it. So the rest of the deck, we have double solar recharge. That's why I'm running this other random Light Sworns. Normally you just run 3, 3, 3, but because I want targets for the recharge, I'm running a few more Light Sworns. 1 Needlebug Nest just for more milling. Since I'm running this with balance, so balance with the current ratios I have does not really guarantee anything other than monsters being in your hand. But it does increase the chance of having a spell and having a trap. There are duels where I don't have a spell but I have a trap. There are duels where I don't have a trap but I have a spell. Either way, you can probably change to a different skill Spell Specialist wouldn't work because you would need to add more spells. Plus the skill is kind of weird right now. So I just went with balance. This is how I was testing it. That's why I always keep the skill, even though after testing the deck, it's not the most optimal. You can use any other skill. The extra deck, we have the level 7 Brigade alongside Scrap Dragon. I thought about throwing a level 9 in here because you can do. There are duels in which you have a Raiden and a World Chalice, so maybe a Vermilion would be nice in here. But I didn't use it like that, so I don't want to change the deck. I want to show you guys the deck that was actually used, and then all the changes that I throw out, it's for y'all to experiment with if you want to try to play this deck, which I do recommend it. It's super fun. And here we're going up against Alexis Road. It is a Vendread player, and this duel was really fun. I wasn't sure I was going to win, but you'll see how many resources I keep gaining back. He's using Master of Rites, so we cannot target or destroy ritual monsters with monster effects. Just kind of an issue because things like Michael, Black Rose, those are all very important removals that we have in our deck. He's gonna go Slayer using double Hound Horde so he can banish one back row during either player's turn. I'm gonna go return, send the Whirlwind to the graveyard. Whirlwind activates the Special Summon Armor. Armor is going to search my landmark. And this is good because I really needed to have a second landmark because I know one of them is getting banished immediately with the Slayer's effect. So we're gonna go for charge at Lumina. Lumina discard the Blackluster Soldier, so it's in the graveyard in order to be summoned with the landmark. Now the reason why we're going into Michael is because, like I said, all of our removal is monster. My boy Sacred Soldier is gonna target. Black Rose, it destroys with monster effect. Michael targets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this Ritual Cage, but I'm not gonna attack since he can easily banish a Vendread card to increase his attack. We're just gonna chill. Slayer gets destroyed. He's gonna add an Origin and send an Executor to the graveyard. Alright, so he's gonna search for Revenants. That's gonna be able to banish a monster, unfortunately. And the thing is, I couldn't chain here because my my Sacred Soldier will miss timing, so we're just gonna let him go for the banish. We can go for the banish now. So we're banishing the World Armor to special summon Sacred Soldier. Soldier activates. Bring back the armor, banish the Executor, and he's gonna be able to retaliate by banishing my Sacred Soldier, but that's fine. We put in an Archer here so we have some sort of removal. He's gonna summon a second Slayer, increase his attack, destroy my Michael. We're gonna send Lumina back to the deck just to gain a little bit of life. Alright, World Chalice is going to search for World Armor. Police is going to attempt to destroy the Slayer. And really, I'm just trying to get rid of all this protection he has in his grave. I gotta get rid of it somehow. That was one with the Felice. Now we're going to use Raiko to get rid of the second one. Now he searches for Revenants but doesn't summon it, which I thought was a little weird. Raiko is going to attempt to destroy. It's going to mill a Wolf. He's going to banish to attack, which I'm fine with that. He banished another resource from his graveyard. We're going to summon Raiden and set the Super Team Body Force Unite. He's going to search for Chimera. Once again, not summoning the Revenants. But if we look at his graveyard real quick, we see 1, 2 Origin and oh yeah, so I guess he still had one more Origin and the deck just didn't draw it. Activate Super Team Body Force, Blackluster Soldier, banish the Vendread, and we get this scoop. You just saw how many things I kept doing. Synchro summon, special summon, banish twice, and the deck just kept on going. Relentless. Another skill that you could possibly use with this would be Restart, because even though we're running balance, there are those weird hands, like you could have all your legacy monsters and solo recharge. That's not something you can do, you know, that's not a hand you can do anything with. So maybe Restart would be another good skill for this. Goes for the Cyclone. I was mad here because I thought about activating my Needlebug Nest immediately just to play around the Cyclone. Because right now I don't have enough monsters to summon off of the landmark. I didn't do it. He snipes the landmark, so now I'm pretty upset about that. Snipes the Needlebug Nest as well. Luckily we mill a 1/1 is gonna summon armor, so we're gonna be able to search for our second landmark. Blast Spider, destroy armor. No Desperado though. We got kind of lucky there. We're going to use Chalice to search for another Chalice. Go for Raiden. Do some milling. Black Salvo. This was very weird. I didn't see. Oh yeah, Samurai Destroyer. Never mind. This is different though. Samurai Destroyer is gonna destroy me. Activate the landmark. And I could have unsummon the Sacred Soldier can banish the Samurai Destroyer, but then he brings back one of these two Dark Machines. And if he has Desperado, that's not what we want to do. So we're not going to activate Sacred Soldier's effect because we can just attack over the Samurai Destroyer and win the game. Landmark is so good, man. I can't believe I hadn't seen that card before. So if you guys are wondering how I came up with this deck, I was literally looking at recent cards. I was like, what have I not played with? And I got to Landmark and I was like, wow, this is a really cool card. Let me read what the World Legacy monsters do. And one thing led to another. Light Sword just makes sense. And then Sacred Soldier is, you know, the added spice. Alright, Solar Recharge. I'm gonna go ahead and gamble. Instead of going Raiden, you went for the recharge. Gamble pays off because I'm able to get a Lumina. Lumina special summon Raiden by sending. What did I send? I sent Sacred Soldier, and we're just gonna turn one Fortune Lady Every. Make him deal with that. Alright, he's not committing, so I'm not committing. Cyclone on my Needlebug Nest, that's fine. That's why I didn't want to set my World Legacy landmark. It's just gonna get Cyclone. I don't even have a World Legacy monster right now to use it with. So I'm kinda just chilling. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm giving him too many resources. I attack into a face down Black Salvo. So he's gonna get a Desperado. Now I have no idea why he didn't activate Desperado the previous turn. Maybe he thought the Every would come back during his turn and I would have been able to banish. Either way, I'll take it. You know, he flips 3 heads, but luckily he can't attack. Now Every is coming back. I was expecting some sort of counter trap here, but all we see is a Super Team Body Force. So it's gonna bring back Salvo. Again, I'm not worried. We have plenty of life. He's running Orcus. Normal summons a Skeleton to go into Brionac. We're gonna stop that Brionac right away. Activate Landmark. Bring back a double Sacred Soldier. Banish the Brionac. And then not only that, I'm able to recycle my Lumina. So when this hits the grave, I banish the Lumina again. Bring back Fortune Lady Every. Especially since I'm only running 2 Luminas for some reason. Now he makes a mistake here. I'm assuming he thought he could Black Rose, but he activated the Orcus effect, and Orcus lets you only summon dark monsters. What he should have done is flip over the Black Salvo, use the Super Team Body Force to bring back the Dark Heart Horror, and then you can Black Rose. This kind of put him in a sticky situation because now he doesn't have a Dark Synchro monster to go into. So he has to go for Desperado. Desperado gets rid of both my Sacred Soldiers, but you know what? The biggest threat is my Fortune Lady Every. We banish the second Desperado. Attack over the Black Salvo for game. Yeah, a couple of mistakes from my opponent, but you know what? They are people, man. People make mistakes. I made mistakes, so I will take this. I can't wait to play this deck on stream and then brick all the games. But then every 4th game or so, we'll get a spicy W. Really excited. I'm actually really excited to stream. I don't know when that's gonna be, because I am working from home, so I have to be up at regular times. I can't stay up and stream too late. Alright, balance. Perfectly balanced hand. Thankfully, we got the return paired with a World Legacy monster. So we're gonna send one activates to special summon the World Armor that I just drew. Search for Landmark. Now I know full well that this is a dual wield, but I didn't want to just attack into this Kisan and then, you know, he top decks Dojo, he draws, and then I lose. So I'm like, if I can force him to use the dual wield on my monsters and my back row can stay on the field, we're fine. So he does just that, plays exactly into what I want him to do. So we're gonna immediately go for Needlebug Nest. I don't want my card to get Cyclone randomly. Summons the Fuma, and before he can go into Shien, we're gonna go ahead and activate our Landmark. Unfortunately though, there's not a Sacred Soldier in the graveyard for me to summon, but we can wall up with two 2500 defense monsters and he can't even get over us. Now I can normal summon Sacred Soldier, banish the back row because I expected it to be another dual wield. Turns out to be a Forbidden Lens. That's completely fine. Dual wield is pretty much the only threat, and he has two monsters on the field, so I don't have a lot to worry about. He realizes that, and we get the scoop. It's crazy, man. That card is so amazing. It wouldn't be as good if you had to banish it from the field, but because you can do it from hand, like, it's so good. It's so unbelievably good. You just get two monsters for free. Any two monsters. Think about that. They don't have to be World Legacy monsters. They don't have to be a certain type. Anything.
Duel.
Alright, we're going second against Dark Magician. I thought he had the perfect play. He's gonna go for Dark Magical Circle. Adds a Dark Magic Expanded. So we gotta remember he has Expanded in the back row. Solar Recharge, draw 2. We're gonna get a Wolf, and one is going to special summon a second one. Destroy the Magician's Rod. No navigation. I'm like, alright, I will take that. It's gonna add the navigation with a second Rod, Prismatic, mind you. We're gonna go for Charge the Light Brigade. I could summon Sacred Soldier, but there's nothing banished, so I wouldn't get a lot of value off of it. So we're just gonna go Raiden, go straight into Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon, destroy my wand, activate landmarks, now I can bring two monsters back. And unfortunately, I only run one level 8. Otherwise, I could have gone into another Synchro Summon. If I had a second Scrap Dragon, you know, those Scrap Dragon, pop back row, try to go for game. But we don't have that, so we can't attack. My whole strategy here was, if he's able to banish a monster with navigation, I'll still have two so that I can tribute for Sacred Soldier. Because unfortunately he banishes my Super Team Body Force. There we go, navigation during draw phase immediately to banish my Scrap Dragon before I can destroy anything. We expected as much, that's why we have the boy Sacred Soldier. Alright, we're gonna mill 2, Sacred Soldier. Banish the circle. And we don't want to attack the Dark Magician. Mainly because, alright, we're gonna add the Raiden. We don't want to attack because we saw he has a Dark Magic Expanded. So at any point he's gonna boost this to 3500. I'm just making him do it during his turn so that I survive. Alright, Dark Magical Circle is gonna add a navigation. Set up his top deck. There's the Dark Magic Expanded. We take 16, and it's time for the gamble. World Chalice is going to search for World Armor. Lumina, discard the charge, go into Black Rose. And my whole thought process for this is, he's not going to be able to summon a Dark Magician next turn. Unless he runs Curtain or a spell. The most he's going to be able to do is summon a Magician's Rod, and I will survive. So we're just going to go Black Rose right here. Set up our Super Team Body Force Unite for the following turn. Summon Raiden, activate Super Team Body Force Unite, bring back Sacred Soldier, banish the back row, win the game. I love this deck, man. I keep saying this, if you guys watch my stream, you probably heard it 1,000 times, but any deck that is not linear, that will make you think about what play to do next, is like my favorite type of deck. I don't like one-trick pony decks like Cyber Dragons. You're always doing the same thing in the same sequence. Decks like this, you know, you're you're truly dealing with the situation that's in front of you, and it's like solving a puzzle. So I love this deck, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And until next time.